Hey folks, Alamatic the Hot Rod Hippie here. This week's video we are taking a look at the Eastwood Tungsten Grinder. So let's check it out. So this is a new product from the folks at Eastwood Tool. It's just recently released. It is a corded tungsten grinder. And this is a handy dedicated setup for just grinding your tungsten when you're TIG welding. So as with all my product reviews, we're gonna go ahead and check out the specifications of this thing, then I'm gonna show you it in operation, and then I'm gonna tell you what I really think about it. If you're aiming to improve your weld quality, really focusing on every little thing you can do to make yourself a better welder, a dedicated tungsten grinder for your TIG welding is one really good option. When you're using a tungsten grinder, you've got a diamond wheel on it. Now the diamond wheel creates a smoother finish. The smoother the finish, the more focused your arc control should be, coming off the point of a tungsten as you intend it to. So let's get into the specifications on this unit. This guy is a 1.5 amp variable speed motor, can go from 0 to 35,000 RPM. Has a slider on the side to go ahead and adjust the variable speed design. It doesn't really have any detents, so it is somewhat infinitely adjustable between there, though they do recommend in the instructions that you run it about 3/4 of the way up. It has a spindle lock for changing out the tooling on the thing, so it's pretty easy to go ahead and lock the spindle in. On the end of the unit is a machined metal guide setup for guiding your tungsten to the diamond grinding wheel. It is set up for either 1/16 or 3/32 tungsten. Now the tungsten angle is a fixed setting at 22.5 degrees with these slotted ramps. Two different points on the end of the metal design is also slots for breaking off your tungsten. This is if you have really heavily contaminated tungsten, you can go ahead and break that off with that nice and easily since tungsten is very brittle. There's also a quick little hanging hook on the back here so you could set this up, hang it off the end of your welding bench, and always have it at the ready for you to grab, grind your tungsten, and get back to what you're doing. Now the end of the mechanism is removable with hex keys. That's so you can go ahead and pull that off and get to your diamond wheel, change it out for a new one whenever it wears, or you can flip it over since it is double-sided. Now the diamond grinding wheel in here is rated for 100 grinds per side, so you get 200 grinds out of this if it lives up to that claimed 100 grinds per side. The whole unit costs $99 and comes with a 1-year warranty. Being a portable design, you can take this right to whatever job you're working at, not be tied down to whatever station you have a grinder set up with, so that is a really handy factor. That pretty much covers the specifications of this unit, so let's go ahead and check this thing in operation. I've got some brand new 3/32 red band tungsten here that I'm gonna go ahead and grind in here and show you how this thing runs. So now when you are operating this thing, it only has a slot to guide the tungsten, so you do have to hold the tungsten down to the bottom of that ramp and feed it into the grinding wheel, as well as spinning it manually since there's no other way to spin the tungsten so that it gets an even grind all the way around. As far as time is concerned when it comes to meat grinding, showing you and demonstrating this thing, part of that factor is going to be how much pressure I apply onto the wheel to go ahead and grind. In the instructions, they do say not to push hard on this. I'm sure it'll wear on the diamond wheel if you do apply a lot of pressure and you won't get nearly as many grinds out of it, so that is something important to note. Also, when it comes to timing it, I also pulled it out and checked it a handful of times to make sure I was getting the right angle. Angling the tool toward the camera and working with it that way did slow me down just a little bit, so those are some important notes to make here. Alright, so let's go ahead and discuss what I really think of this thing. I've been using it all week, giving it a fair run, checking it out, trying it out, and welding solely with tungsten ground on this so I can get a good feeling for it. I have to say that it does work quicker than I expected it was going to, and it does a really good quality grind. Other options on the market are 3 times the price of this one at the $99 that this goes for. Here's a comparison of a piece of tungsten that I ground on the belt sander with a drill spinning the tungsten. That's the way I usually grind it, versus the piece that was ground in this one just now. You can see that the finish is finer, and it really does create a nice arc stability. Definitely noticed a slightly crisper arc when it came to using this ground tungsten versus the grind that I usually use. Now you may note that the tungsten I ground on the belt sander has a higher angle, steeper angle than the tungsten grinder allows for. This thing is set to 22.5 degrees and that is it. Personally, I like a steeper angle. I want that tungsten ground to a sharp point. And that is something I missed. Welding on sheet metal, welding on the thinner materials, I really missed having that smaller point on my tungsten all week. I still got good quality welds out of this thing, and I can't complain about the arc stability, but there's something, just something I can't quite put my finger on that I was missing versus my sharper point tungsten. But that is a subjective feeling about my tungsten grinds. Plain and simple, this thing does work. It's set up for that 1/16 and that 3/32 tungsten, and if you're welding with one of those two size tungstens, this thing will do the job for you. However, I definitely have some points to make about the tool. First and foremost, on the build of this thing, it's quite clear if they just took a die grinder that they probably already had on the shelf or were able to source from a supplier easily and just made an attachment to go onto the end of the tool. The grinder attachment is metal. There are other ones on the market that are made of Delrin and plastics that you have to question the long-term viability of. So this being made of metal does make me feel a little better, especially if it were to fall off the table and fall on the end of the thing. I might feel a little better about this being metal than some other ones. As far as replacing the wheel on the end of this thing, that's a simple operation, no complaints there, especially at the $14.99 replacement cost of that diamond wheel. That is not a bad price. So now let's get to the things that bother me about this tool. One is the tungsten breakers. Yeah, they function. Of course they function. They work great. Tungsten is brittle. But tungsten is also not inexpensive. Say I have a tungsten that is heavily contaminated with aluminum when I'm welding on some aluminum, so it's got a big ball on the end of it. Well, now slide it into that slot, hang it down to that thing, get it as tight to there as you can, and break it off. Doing so means that you probably broke off upwards of 1/8 to like 3/16 of an inch. So that's 1/8 to 3/16 of a piece of tungsten that's now gone and you're not going to have any use of. A lot of the other tools on the market actually have a slot that gets to the blade of the tool and will cut it off. That means you can control how much of a tungsten you're getting rid of with that design. The other thing I don't like is the fixed angle on this thing. Like I said, I like a long grind on my tungsten, a steep angle. I can't get that with this tool. I'm fixed to the AWS recommended welding angle. Another point to make here, 1/16 and 3/32 are the only options on this tool. I do primarily weld with 1/16 and I step up to 3/32 on chassis sometimes. But once in a while I have big heavy aluminum projects or big heavy steel projects and I will step up to 1/8 tungsten. This tool will not allow me to do that. I'll have to go back to my old methods of grinding when it comes to the heavier tungsten. And now, finally, my biggest complaint about this tool. Every other tungsten grinder on the market has holes. It has a guide hole that you'll stick the tungsten into and will guide it to that grinding wheel. This one has slots that you lay the tungsten down into. Now that is a problem in one respect. As I'm spinning this thing, it's constantly walking forward and backward because it's working its way up and down that ramp when I slightly change angles with my hands. A guide hole would stop that. It would prevent that because it would be completely supporting the tungsten at the angle it needs to be at. Now, I'm not trying to bash this tool. Honestly, I'm impressed with it. It works better than I expected it was going to, but I feel it's only fair to inform you about the things that I don't like about it and the issues and shortcomings I found with it. All of those gripes, those little nitpicks aside, or the bigger issues, I think this thing's actually pretty decent. And yes, this is a repurposed die grinder with an attachment on the end of it. But for $99, it works really well. You know, if you're not grinding every single day like I am, you're not TIG welding all the time, and you're not set in your ways like I am, well, then this thing will actually help you to improve your welds. I bet on that. Having good clean tungsten is the #1 thing I can recommend to a beginning TIG welder. You need to stop contaminating your tungsten and stop working after you've contaminated it. I see far too often where people have contaminated tungsten and they just keep going. They stick their filler to it, they dip it into their weld puddle, and they keep on running. You gotta stop once you contaminate, grind fresh, and keep going. At the end of the day, will I continue to use this thing day in and day out? Most likely not. I'm too set in my ways. I like the angle that I grind at. I like not having an extension cord run out across the shop, so I can't see myself continuing to use this thing. I gave it what I feel was a fair chance, and it works. And like I said, if you fall into the criteria I'm mentioning, if you don't think the things that I mentioned are that big of a deal, then this thing is actually a pretty good buy. Alright folks, I hope you found this video informative. If you did, drop it a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you're thinking. Do you have one of these already and you like it? Do you have a more expensive one, or do you have a cheaper one that maybe I should check out? Let me know. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more content like this every week, and please feel free to share my videos. I love the way this channel's been growing, and I'd love to have your help in making it bigger. Thanks for coming around, folks. Have a good one.